Okay, alright, so we're gonna see, hopefully today's stream will be better. I know we had some trouble last time, so I appreciate everyone's patience with me while I try some things and see if we can get a good stream tonight. So, alright, look, went live, it connected, yay! Alright, let me get my tweet out, let's see. Alright, tweets out, Discord's out, we should be good to go. Hey everyone, so today I'm gonna do some more manga pages. I know how long has it been since I've actually done manga pages. I'm sorry. Thank you all for loving me and being so patient. Like, I really do love all of you guys. You guys are amazing. So today, what I figured we could do, let's see. Why is my chat like so teeny tiny? What the frack? Let me fix that. Trying to make sure I see the chat too, because I've got, whoopsie. I went too far. I don't know why my chat suddenly got super small. Like, that's bizarre. That's weird. So I'm trying to make sure I can monitor the stream health here at the same time. Weird. Okay, well, that's not changing. That's not gonna change. That's okay. Whatever. Okay, so what I'm gonna do today is I actually already did. Oh, whoops. I saw chapter 1 and went to click on it. So I've actually already done the sketches for chapter 1, which is what you guys are seeing right here. And then, so what I need to do next is chapter 2. Oh, there it goes. There she goes. My stream is being sassy again. Well, I apologize. I'm going to be doing my best, everybody. I've got both chats up, so hopefully I'll be able to keep everything in as far as, like, proper timing and whatever. Plus, it's not gaming, so hopefully it won't be as bad. But anyway, so I've got chapter 1 here, which I've already done the sketches for. I don't think I have any changes to make in here, so I think we're able to move on to chapter 2, which is right here, ready for me. I get to do all of this work, and then I have my script up on my other screen. Hey, Sim, what's up? How are you? I'm trying another stream today, so we're gonna find out how it does. It's being a little grouchy already. Just not good. So we'll have to see how it goes. See if it wants to behave itself. How are you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Bot is running. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. That should be my my alerts bot. So making sure people behave themselves. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to like upgrade the channel, and I tried to add alerts today. So we'll see how it does. But what I want to do today is I'm going to do some chapter 2 stuff. I have my script on my other page, and then a lot of what I'm doing, this is my old chapter 1. A lot of what I'm going to be doing today is taking my old chapter 1 and putting it into the new chapter 2. So, should probably make a comment here. Yeah, hopefully it'll be better today. I did cut it down to 960, I think. So we'll see how it does. I'm trying not to have to cut it down more than I have to, but because the internet is so sketchy here, no promises, guys. I don't want to have to kick it down to 720, so I'm going to try to see if we can keep 960. We're going to try. We're going to try at least. But yeah, no, thanks for coming in. I always appreciate it. Probably should keep my other window up here so that I can keep track of any activity. And I have a chat in here too, so we'll do that. Yep, okay. So, yeah, I've got my script. Let me actually kind of show you guys. I've got a separate window up. I've got my script right here. So I'll be using that on one screen, and then I'll be taking, basically part of the old chapter 1 is chapter 2. So I'll be kind of transferring some of those sketches in. Okay, cool, yeah. Good. I feel so bad having to cut the quality down. Feel really bad about it. But it is what it is. So, whoops. Let's see. I started right here, I believe. So yeah, this is my old chapter 1. This is the one that I worked on last year, and I didn't get very far, as you can see, because I didn't even finish page 23, 24. All I really need is this part right here. I don't need that. I don't need any of these. So much sketching. So much sketching. It's so much work with these, like, oh my gosh, I don't even know. What layer is this? Oh, there's more layers below this. Okay. Alright, so, is this all of that? Yeah, that's what I need. This is the not super crazy interesting part. This is not the super crazy, but this is like the boring part of doing pages. Is it's like doing like the initial drafting. Oh, come on. It's like doing the like the initial drafting, and it's like a bunch of just like white pages. I'm literally starting chapter 2 from just white pages today. So it's not, hey missing, what's up? What's up? How are you? Hey Sim, did you see that I got a new badge uploaded? So there's a 6-month badge now that you guys can work towards. So this is the first set of pages. So let's see. Chapter covers on the left, so first page will be on the right. Okay. Oh. Am I working bigger than I used to? I am. I'm not working the same size I used to. Should I be concerned? Nah. Nah, it's all good. Yeah, that's a big difference. It's like half. Hang on, guys. Do I have the wrong size paper? If I have the wrong size paper, I have to make a new file. Hang on, guys. I hate it when this happens. Oh my god, I hate this. I hate it when this happens. Please don't tell me I made the file the wrong size. It happens. Thankfully, I haven't gotten very far into it yet. But now I need to see if my other file is the wrong size, too. I thought I knew what sizes I was using. You're at work? Fun. Fun. I have to do a little bit of work after I'm done here. Come on, Clip Studio. Come on. Come on, boy. You can do it. You can do it. It's trying. To be fair, I have a really high CPU usage right now. In its defense. Yeah! Oh no! Chapter 2 is the wrong size! Oh no! Okay, what size is this? Okay, so this document is B4 at 600 dpi. Okay. Oh, I'll bet this one's B5. I might have done that. Whoops. Story page settings. Yeah, that's what I did. I did the second one as B5. Okay, that's okay. That's an easy fix. All I have to do is close that. So if this ever happens to you guys, here's how you fix that. I'm just gonna hit no, or I'm gonna hit no. Do not save. Do not save because I still have it copied. It's in my clipboard. So I'm gonna close that. Do not save because I don't want to make any changes. So I'm gonna go to Vision 2, which is my chapter. I have a PC, or a PC that's made for gaming actually. Hey, Nuke. Sir, stop it. I have a gaming PC, so it's like made for really heavy duty stuff. It doesn't have a lot of storage space, that's the trade-off, but it's really good at handling really high level things. So what I'm going to do, so I have the story that I want to make changes to. I can go to story and then project settings. Let me bring this over here. Hopefully you guys can see it. So if you find out that you're using the wrong size page, it's really easy to fix. You have to close any open pages for that particular story file. And then see here, yep, see how it says it's B5? I can just click on this and go to B4. And then I just hit OK. That's it. That's all I have to do. That's the only change I have to make. So there's a little bar on my other page, you guys, but see this white thing? Or how it's moving? It's going in and it's changing the sizes of all those pages. And it'll tell me when it's done. Okay, so it's done. So now when I open this, and then now I paste it, now it should be the right size. Yeah, there we go. So if that ever happens to you guys, that's how you fix it. So that's why you check. I'm so glad that happened on the first page so that I can, make sure that I don't mess up with my other pages. Because, I mean, thankfully I'm only doing sketches, and I found it out before I got to my inking phase. So, oh, that could have been bad. I mean, I was so scared that all of my nice sketches were done at a lower resolution in Chapter 1. Thank goodness I was wrong. It was just the one. Okay, so now that I have that crisis averted, wow, we're like not very far into the stream, you guys, and we're already having crises. We're like 10 minutes in, already having drawing crisis. Okay, so for this particular panel, what I usually do when I'm paneling is the first thing I'll think about is how many panels do I have? And for this particular page, we're working on this one right here. We're looking at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many panels do we have? We have 5 panels on this page. Normally manga varies a lot in terms of like how many panels you have per page. But usually they tend to stay in like 5 to 8, 6 to 8 panels. You can go all the way down to 4 or 3. But if you go down really low, you still have to think about like what is the focus panel of that page. In manga, one of the things that differentiates it from comics is usually in manga you have like a focus panel, like what panel is the most important, and usually that's the one that's the biggest, the most detailed, that sort of thing. It's like this is like the focal point, because when you think about composition in general illustrations, you always have a focus point, right? Well, when you look at manga, you have a whole page, and you can treat the whole page as a single illustration in terms of composition as well. So you just like how you have like one main focal point in illustrations, you always have one main focal point in pages as well. So since we have 5 panels, we're going to have to think about it, look at our script. This is why it's really, really helpful to have a script or at least something written down in your, like when you're doing manga and comics, so that you can go, okay, well, this is what's going on this page. You can totally freehand it. You can totally just like pull it out of your butt if you want. But if you're trying to be more professional, it definitely would be a better idea to script it out and go, okay, like this is roughly what I think is going to go on each page, or this is roughly what I want to happen within this chapter. So that when you start divvying out information, you're looking at, hey, what's going on what page? You can think about what is the most important thing you want to show on that particular page. So that's why I wanted to do this stream today and the next couple days, is because this is my initial paneling. When I do my roughs, they are not pretty. Okay, guys, they're not pretty. Like, these are my roughs, okay? They are, like, some of these are drawn really nicely because they're imported from previous pages. But, like, this one right here, this is super rough, man. These are super rough. These are not, like, he almost looks cross-eyed in this panel. Like, the point of these is not necessarily to do, like, really, really nice, like, hey, David, what's up, man? How's your stuff going? Hey, David here also does comics, so be sure you check out his stuff. I saw you make your own comic thing on my and pre-made comic page panels of different types. Yeah, you can totally do that. So there's different sort of like basic layouts, and Clip Studio has this as well. Let's see, let me actually bring this panel over here and show you guys. So Clip Studio has this as well, where you can have like super basic panel layouts. Your framing template. So Clip Studio has this too. So you can have like your general basic ideas. And I'll use these Usually only if I get really, really stuck, or I'm like, I don't know what any of these would do for me, or I'm kind of stuck, I don't have any ideas or whatever. So, but notice how, looking through some of these, a lot of these tend to have at least one panel that's like the biggest or going to be the most focused. What's also really nice is if you have a page that's a really similar layout to this, you can just drag them in and then you can manipulate these panels after you bring them in. They're not like rastered or anything. They're completely vector, so you can completely change them how you like. So let me put this back so I don't lose it. Okay. I have lots of assets, so it looked really full. But anyway, so that's kind of what I'll do is I'll just go through and just kind of like loosely throw things in. Sometimes like I'll do like really nice drawings, like like the waves here. I had so much fun doing those waves and stuff. It was way too much. I spent way too much time on that panel because I just like drawing water. It's really fun. And then some of these pages are just like I think Aros's face in this one is enjoyable. Let me find that one again. This one, he's like, that one's really fun. So like, yeah, so when I'm doing these pages, like this is pretty much what I'm going to be doing for chapter 2, is just going through, getting some like really rough, drawings in, like this. What is this? I don't even know what this is. Like, I'm going to have to read my script to see what that actually is. I think it's the vial that's flying over this hole here. But yeah, so like, oh look, it's Auk. Aki boy. Sometimes I'll do really clean drawings, sometimes I won't. Like, sometimes it's just an eyeball. Work smarter, not harder. And that's the other thing in manga is, like, you don't always have to have, like, a background in every drawing. But yeah, so that's basically what I did for chapter 1. So that's chapter 1. And so I'm going to be doing the same thing for chapter 2. So yeah, good. Yeah, I just did paneling for comics, for Global Comics, because I write like how-to articles for them. And my next article for next week is paneling manga. And so I figured this would be a really great review for myself, is to actually do a stream where I have to talk about it. So I'm like, oh yeah, I need to make sure, like I have a notepad here so I can be like, yeah, I need to make sure I talk about that. Just to like remind myself, because there's like paneling manga and paneling comics, like it's a similar general process, but the thinking behind things is different. The way you panel comics, you can't panel manga. Like, it's not the same. Anyway, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'll go ahead and get started. Miso, go get him, Miso. Sorry, the cats are playing. Cat's got the zoomies right now. You know how they are. So when I do my paneling, I always do 2 pages at a time, because comics are going to be read 2 pages at a time normally, right? Especially if you're planning on printing your stuff. So you want to plan 2 pages at a time, because you want to be sure the 2 pages look good to each other, look good next to each other. Comixology is running into, or people who post on Comixology now are going to have this problem, because now they're going to have 2-page spreads. And they better make sure their pages look good next to each other, otherwise it's gonna be awkward. Okay, so the first panel we have here is our friend Lawnfet here. So what I'm gonna do, is actually probably what I'll do first is just gonna roughly set out how I want this to be. The most important panel here is probably going to be Holmes looking down out at our, like, we have one character that's going to be looking down on another one. This guy's going to get pistol whipped. So that's going to be a quick motion, so we don't want it to be a super big panel. Maybe, but it's important, so it'll be like a, oh hey, what's going on here? So probably make this a little smaller, maybe about 1/3 of the page. So in comics, the bigger the panel, the more time it takes the reader to get through it. So it'll feel slower. Think of it as like slow-mo. It's bigger, so it's slower, right? And also, the bigger the panel, the more important the panel is considered. It's considered to be more important. So you want to be sure that it is important panels are bigger. Sorry, my brain is just like, I had a brain fart there. I was like, Nani? What am I saying? What am I trying to say? I don't know anymore. So I'll probably that's where I'll put this one. And usually when I am planning my panels, I do it really organically. Like, I don't sit here and like plan out everything first. It just kind of happens. Oh, okay, so this isn't gonna fit in the proportions that I want, so probably what I'll do instead is I'll just leave this here like that. And then I'll come in here and I'll get rid of this, and I'll just let this be a bleed. But I have to watch his face here because this is too close to that. And I don't really want to change the height, so what I'll do is I'll just move everything over. Just move this over a bit so that he'll fit in there. Yeah, I'd kind of just, let me just see what happens. Because I need to have a bubble here as well, so I need to make sure I account for that. Whenever you're doing your paneling, you always want to be sure you plan where your bubbles are going to go while you're doing your paneling, because your text is important. Okay, so I've got his face mostly inside the safe area here, so the safe area is this inner line. You want to keep all text within that line, anything important. Faces are generally considered important. You don't have to have the whole face in there. Just whatever information is necessary to see what expressions they're making, what they might be doing, that kind of stuff. That's kind of how you know if it's important or not. So, put this in. This is Lawn Fett. He's a fun character. He's important. So I'm going to quickly fill this in and get a Lasso Tool because it's faster. Work smarter, not harder. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, I didn't quite get that perfect, but that's okay. So just fill. See, look how easy that was. Now, usually what I'll do is I will bring in, like, a normal bubble. I don't really tend to bring in special bubbles unless it's, like, it's really important. Because I don't really care that much. So this bubble's going to be... So normally bubbles are... Like, in comics, the rule is keep bubbles in the top third. And that's because usually... you want to read first. In manga, it's a little different. In manga, you have a little bit more freedom in the sense that you can plan out what's seen first, the text or the action. That's how I look at it. Is what's more important to see first, the text or the action. And in this case, it's fine. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, mostly you're just going to see him. I mean, normally what you would do is you would put this over here, and then you would move Lawn Fett over here, so that you would see his face first. But it's really hard because we have this bubble in our way, right? So I'd have to move him over. I'd have to just actually show you guys. I'd have to resize this, and I want his face bigger. So, I mean, I guess theoretically I could do this. I don't really like that personally because I feel like it cuts off his hair. Like, if you picture it with his hair cut off, it looks a little strange to me. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind later. And that's the fun part about this, is you can totally change your mind later. Like, you don't have to, like, make a decision now. The problem with putting the bubble over here is you just need... I don't like a bubble being the first thing people see when they flip the page. That's just a me thing. I think it's annoying, personally. So usually I'll put the bubble up over here, or I'll put it like a little bit further down. That way the first thing they see is, oh hey, character's face, like here's the expression he's making, and then here's what he says. Like, I don't know. Because I feel like when I talk to people, when I'm interacting with someone, like, I'll make an expression first, and then I'll say what I think. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, say something and then change my expression when I'm interacting with someone. Usually I change my expression and then I say something. So I try to make it feel really organic and natural, like the same way that I act. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. That's just me, I guess. That's how I feel about it. I'm not the expert here. I am just as indie as anyone out there, so I just try to, like, do what feels natural, what feels correct, personally. So I actually might have to add in a 6th smaller panel here now that I am thinking about it. The other thing that I do is I group my folders together, or my panels together by folders, so that I can keep them all organized. So let's see. This needs to be. So see, guys, this is the not super fun part. See what I mean? This is the not super fun part because it's paneling. Oh, I wasn't supposed to do that yet. There we go. It's like, I wish this was more interesting to look at. Okay, what was he saying here? I forget. Oh my god, guys. This is why I've not been streaming, you guys, is my brain has left the building. And this process is such a weird process for me. Where it's like I make all kinds of excuses why I don't want to stream. I do want to stream, I really do. Like, I enjoy it, like, once I get going, I'm fine. It always feels really awkward. So, here's folder. So, for folder 1, here's folder 2. Put a thingy in there. Put another thingy in there. If you guys ever have questions, like, feel free to let me know. Just FYI, the little thingy that I've got in the bottom right corner of my screen, I really want to go to the Kudon, language school manga course that they have. So I'm saving up some money for that. So that's what that is. It's a 3-month course, in Japan, which I think is really cool. It's, you'll actually, like, use 3 months of manga class, and then it's 3 months of language class. And it's all priced in yen, and it's like including, like, the cost of, like, the homestay, the cost of the plane tickets, the cost of food, the cost of the actual class, like, also the rent I have to pay still in the States, because, you know, leases and stuff. So, like, including everything, it'd be about $10,000, and to have a little bit of a buffer savings with me while I go, be about $10,000. So I think it's like just over 1,000,000 yen. I think it's like about, it's like 1,120,000 yen, which is about $10,000. So that's what that is, in case y'all were wondering. I wanted to do a GoFundMe for it, but when I went to GoFundMe and I was looking at all the people that are like, help pay for cancer, help pay for my puppy's vet bills, I was like, oh god, I can't ask for money for a manga course looking at all these people. Hey, Glig, what's up? What you doing? I'm just in over here causing trouble. So, I don't know what this panel is going to look like. I don't know what it's going to look like. What did I do on this last panel? With this last attempt? Oh, I didn't even draw it. I gave up on it. Oh, man. I'm going to have to actually draw it, yo. So this was the idea that I wanted for the panel. It was something like this. Something like that. That was my inspiration for this, and I never got to drawing it. That shows what kind of mood I was in. I was like, no, screw it. Oh my god, that's funny. I did not get through this page. Oh my god, you guys. I just totally gave up on this page. Oh man. I was like, fuck it. I don't want to do this. Okay, well, at least I have my reference that I had planned to use, so I'll take that as a victory. Donate? I have a donation link in my description if you would like to donate. You know, if you want to do a super chat, I can do a super chat. So you could do a super chat too. There should be like a little money icon in the chat box. If you do a super chat, I'd happily do a truth or draw or a blind drawing game in return. That's kind of what I figured is I would do. Like, well, I should just do donation games. I'll just change the super chat to donation games. So, whoops. Oh, I have to sign into my own chat here? Really? That's funny. Hang on, guys. Hang on, guys. Let me sign into my own chat. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. I do. So actually, I talked to my boss, and they're willing to they're gonna work with me hours wise to make sure, like, you know, I'm still following the rules and, like, you know, legally and everything. So I'll be able to actually still keep working legally, but I'm gonna have to drop my hours down. So they're actually willing to work with me, which is really, really awesome. Of course, it's not gonna let. Ugh. This is frustrating. This is so annoying. It's not logging me into my password. Please don't make me do a forget password. Why? It's stupid that it even logged me out in the first place. Choose how you want to sign in. I can't get text. Oh my god. I can't get text messages. Oh my god. I have no internet on my phone. I have no phone signal here. Hang on, guys. Hang on, guys. It kicked me out of my own chat. I have to go get my Google security code. I'm sorry, guys. I'm such a loser. Oh, I'm so stupid. This is so funny. Security code. There we go. Oh, man. Oh, this would only happen during a stream. Only during a stream. Oh, man. That's so funny. Come on, Betsy, you can do it. You made me go through all that trouble. Legally and everything. Whoa. I just wanted the chat. Why did it actually log me in? Oh god, that's so dumb. Hang on, what did it do? Oh my god, I hate this thing. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I can see. PTO, okay. I mean, why not, selfish maybe. I took your advice about going to school for art. Oh, are you? Community college first? Okay, that's good, that's good. Good, I'm glad. Like, so, do you know, like, what you want to do with it? Sorry, I couldn't see the chat while I was trying to get logged in. Please, please, please pay for your schooling first. Believe me, bro. Like, I completely understand, like, how important schooling is. Like, please take care of your schooling first. I appreciate the offer, but I would rather you spend your money on your schooling, on yourself. Because I know that gets, like, really expensive really fast. So, like, please worry about you first. Okay, let me just see if I can just copy the whole page over. Oh, of course not. I'll be writing down my passwords. Well, see, I had to change my password for whatever. I think it was because I forgot it once, and I have like a series of like 5 different passwords that I cycle through every so often. So so I'm sitting here drawing all my different passwords, and I'm like, oh my god, which one is it? You gotta remember which password it was. And so I'm sitting here sweating, like, please let me in, please let me in. It was just awkward. Of course. Okay, so, let's see. It's so weird, like, when I hear people saying, oh, I get paid on Friday, because I used to be that way too, and now I don't get paid on Fridays, and I get paid on, like, specific days of the month. Like, specific dates. Gonna want to get a portable Wi-Fi. I don't know anything, honestly, as far as, like, the actual being in Japan part. I know I'll have to get, like, a special SIM card or something. So I know I'm gonna have to do something like that. So that'll be fun. So I know that there's gonna be a phone issue, and I know that my card may not work. So I may have to get, like, maybe just, like, live on cash for a while. or use like my PayPal card, which I'm pretty sure works in Japan just fine. I'm pretty sure that one would work, so I might have to end up living on PayPal. Oh man, I really don't want to have to look through PayPal, but because I have a PayPal debit card, it's linked directly to my account, so I mean theoretically I could use it. So just fine. No one heard that. Yeah, there's still just a tiny bit of a delay. So let's see here. I was able to find a community college in my area that has an art program. I don't know the actual. Oh, you don't know how the actual program is. So you're going into a program and you don't even know what it is. Silly. You have no money saved up, dude. Yeah, then you really need to worry about yourself first. Like that's really kind of you that you offered, but please take care of yourself. Community college for me was about $6,000 for 3 years because I had to redo my first year. Yeah, community college is definitely great. Because I was able to get at least 1 year shaved off. When I transferred. I didn't get all or both 2 years. So when I transferred to my like private school, I had 77 credits already done, but they only accepted 30 of them. But still, that's a whole year, so that's like $50,000 that I saved. And while I'm bitter that not everything transferred, I'm glad that I like at least some of it transferred. So that way I wouldn't have to worry about paying for all of it. Oh, I'm thinking about going to an actual art school after though. Yeah, definitely. So if that's what you want to do, definitely make sure like I would once you figure out what classes you need to take for your community college, definitely go to the art school that you're thinking about or art schools and say, "Hey, here's the courses that I'm going to take. If I transfer, what classes of these will you accept?" Because just because you go to a community college first and then you go to an art school, like it's not promised that they will accept the credits for the classes you already took. So what they'll do is they'll look at what classes you actually took at your community college and they'll say, okay, like what of these courses that you took apply to the classes that we have you take so that we can give you the credit for that for already taking it. And then they also look at your portfolio. So for example, I never actually took perspective, but I got credit for both of my perspective classes for freshman year. So, because they're like, well, based on your portfolio, like, we thought you had taken a perspective class. And I'm like, no. So I was able to BS my way through perspective class. So definitely check that stuff too. If you're looking at doing comics, I would recommend going to either the Kubert School or the Center for Cartoon Studies up in Vermont. And then if you want a really nice school, which I really don't recommend just because of its price tag, you could look at SVA, because SVA has a visual narrative degree, which is basically what comics do. And what's nice about having a visual narrative degree is it could prepare you for both animation and comics, but it won't necessarily teach you animation. And most schools that offer animation are extremely competitive because everyone wants to be an animator. Everyone wants to do animation. So most animation degrees are pretty competitive to get into. So definitely try both of them. Like, try animating on your own. Try doing some of those things because you definitely want to find out if it's something you really want to do because they're so expensive. Yeah. The general studies is definitely a great thing to get out of the way as soon as you possibly can. And that's basically what happened when I transferred from my community college to art schools is pretty much all of my general eds got transferred except 2 or 3. And it was only because we technically had to take 2 levels of them and I only had the first level taken care of. Like, I didn't have to take a math course. I didn't have to take it's like a art appreciation course that I would have had to take. I didn't have to take that one. I had one of my English courses taken care of. Psychology slash humanities, I had that already taken care of. And then like all of like my basic like freshman courses were approved. And then a portfolio class, because I did an internship at my community college. I didn't have to do like a portfolio sort of class in my senior year. So I had 33 credits that were transferred. So I was able to shave off 33 credits, which is still like $50,000 I got to save. I'll take $50,000 over nothing. You know what I mean? Okay, script. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, so slide. It's either the second or third panel that's going to be the biggest one. No, it'd be the third. It'd be the fourth one. That would be the biggest. Okay, so this would be the bottom panel. Okay, so probably what I would do, just to put this in, because I don't want to have to redraw it today. Usually what I'll do is, if I'm kind of short on time, and that's kind of where I am today, I don't have a lot of free time today, I'll just take something like this, and I'll throw it in here, so that when I have the time to come in and do like a nice drawing of it, I've already got a reference. And then usually I'll put these in red, to know, hey, that's a panel I have to redraw. So let me delete that. Okay, this will be, let's see. Alright, so then this next panel, let's just go in order here. So this will be here. So this is like the black sheep panel here. Do you go this way? Like there's like this panel in comics that people disagree on, and it's this one. Wait, no, it's not that one. It's the other way. Sorry. It's in comics, Western comics, this panel layout is considered bad. Because do you go 1, 2, 3? Or do you, oopsie. And I don't know why this is a thing in Western comics. It boggles my mind personally. Or do you do 1, 2, 3? In Western comics, this is a thing. This is the problem they have. In manga, this is not a problem. It would be obviously 1, 2, 3. Obviously, you know. But in Western comics, they fight about which panel is next. They're like, how do we know which panel is next? And I'm like, I can see how that's a problem, because so the reason why it's an issue is in Western comics you read, here's why it's different. In Western comics, you read left to right before you go top to bottom. In manga, you read top to bottom before you go left to right, but you stop when there's like a line break. If you've noticed, when you read manga pages, you'll notice that the panels are often grouped together horizontally, in terms of like, you can see wider gaps between like sections on the page. And so, you know, if you had like a panel like this, so say we had panels like this, we would know that 1, 2, 3. We would know that it's this one, then this one, that it would be this way, because you read top to bottom before you go right to left. In comics, you read left to right before you go top to bottom. So what did you do this? Is that how you would do it? So that's why, like, this is like this whole big issue. And they had like this, it wasn't a discourse, but they had a really interesting discussion about it on Twitter last week. So I always find that kind of stuff really interesting. Huh? Is this learning hard on a non-teaching setting? Or is leaning hard in a... What? Is it me, or is learning hard in a non-teaching setting? No, I agree. Learning is hard in a non-teaching setting. I completely agree. I am not a person who teaches myself very well. Which is kind of funny. Because I'm such a hard butt about, like, teaching myself. Sorry, I had to, like, read it a couple times because I'm like, I'm not very smart right now. I need some caffeine. If I'm not mistaken, you don't have a lot of time, ever. I never have a lot of time. Even if I had a time turner, I don't think I would have enough time. I'm always squirrel. I'm always getting distracted. I'm like, I like to tell people I'm like a little dog. I get distracted way too easily. Look, I'm like, I'm 45 minutes in, and I've got one panel that I didn't even draw, and I've actually got 2 panels I didn't even draw because I've been talking too much. Okay, so panel 2, Brahma fall off to the side. We see the figure. So technically, this was panel 1. So technically, I did 6 panels. So he gets pistol whipped, and then he falls off to the side. So we'll just have him, like, whatever. Holmes is standing here. Oh, cat. This is literally paneling, guys. This is paneling, okay? This is how this works. So the other thing I haven't really mentioned that much, because I didn't do a lot of sketching in my last streams. When I panel, I have 2 passes, okay? I don't do everything in one go, because I don't have the patience for that. So, so usually what I'll do is I'll have, like 2 passes. I'll do my first one, which will be really rough, really kind of loose, and then I'll go over it again. So technically, when I do my sketches, I've technically already done my drawing twice. And the reason I do that is that way I can go straight into inking. It's like I do my initial draft, and then I do my pencils, just like you do in comics. You have your layout, and then your pencils. Most manga just go straight from name to inks. I can't fucking do that. And so this is, we see a figure behind him. And this will be the big panel. This will be the important one. Let's see. So, and here, the other thing, so, okay, here there's supposed to be a panel. Did I not copy it over? Alright, Peter Griffin. Look, I've already messed up my layers here. What layer is it? This is what. Okay. Okay. Well, 3. It's this one. I think. Okay, so this will be the pose that I want for number 4, but it'll be at a different angle. What layer is this on? Okay, it's no wait. Oh my god, I drew on the wrong layer. Oh man, that's okay. Story of my life, you guys. Drawing on the wrong layer. Okay. I gotta keep it separated. I have to do this because if I don't do this, I'm gonna lose my mind trying to figure out where all my panels are. Self-teaching is super hard. I think now that comics and manga are more considering that 1, top 2, 3 layout is just less acceptable. Yeah, it is less acceptable now. I think it definitely, because comics and manga are kind of becoming more similar, in the sense that they're sort of like strangely merging together. You know what I mean? At least here in the US. It's super weird. Okay, so we're gonna have mostly mouth to the back. He'll be leaning back. No, Miso, you cannot get in my... Miso, no! No. When have I ever allowed you to be in front of my face like this? Are you afraid to get in my lap because Nuke growled at you earlier because you were infringing on his personal space? Miso, babe. Here, lay under the desk like you usually do. And you're gonna have to work with Nuke. Come on, Miso. Don't let Nuke bully you. You have every right to my lap that he does. Nuke doesn't like sharing my lap because that's where the electric blanket is. Miso, don't lick his face. Don't sit on him. That's why he growled at you. Goober. Miso is so silly. Oh, see, look, he left. See? You just didn't have to let him bully you. And Nuke can go get his own damn spot. Sorry, the cats like to fight for my lap because I have an electric blanket. And they like to sleep on the electric blanket, so they fight over my lap. He's like, this is my lap. That's funny. Yeah, Nuke, go get some dinner. So, okay, so that's alright. We'll just get a rough idea here. I don't even require it to be actually very good. I just want the general idea. There we go. Good enough. I mean, White Manga, he definitely knows what he's doing, so he's definitely a really great resource. I mean, I don't really care about how fast I work, honestly. I mean, I'm always, like, willing to take, like, tips and stuff, but I'm not gonna, I mean, like, I really like his stuff, but sometimes I feel like he gets a little, you have to do it this way. Like, sometimes it's the way that it talks, or, I don't know why I said it, the way that he talks, I say it sometimes because I don't like assuming people's gender, but I figured that, he is a male, some people don't like people using it, though, the way that he talks, sometimes it feels a little too forceful, and I'm not a huge fan of his work personally. It's not bad. Obviously, he's doing super well. And his YouTube channel is really growing as shitload of readers, dude. He's super pro. But, I don't know. Something about... I don't know what it is. Something about it I don't like. But he obviously knows what he's doing. So... But he's definitely, like a super good resource. What's that one video of his that I really liked? There was one video that he did that I was like, I'd have to go through, I'm sure I've got it on my playlist somewhere, but he's definitely, like, a super fantastic resource. I don't know, I just don't draw the way that he does. So, plus I don't have a whole team either. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of White Manga. I'm just gonna flat out say it. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Apple Black. It's not my thing. And I'm the kind of person where if I'm not a fan of yours, I don't tend to follow your advice. But I love researching him when I'm doing my tutorials and stuff, for Global Comics, because, like I said, he's got, like, another perspective, another view on things, and obviously he's a professional. He's way more professional than I am. So obviously he knows what he's doing. And it's great to have like other people that talk about similar things, so I can use them as like a resource to give to people to say, hey, like if you don't, like the way that I'm talking about things, if you feel like someone else might have a better idea, then you can definitely like listen to this guy and see if like this works better for you than what I talk about. I don't know, it's just not my thing. He's just not a creator that I like the work of very much. And so I personally probably wouldn't take his advice. I'm trying to figure out what pose I want here. I guess I don't want to like fight over this because I probably would have to use 3 models for this one. But he's also been drawing manga way longer than I have. I think he was doing Apple Black even when I was still in college, I think. So he's been at this way longer than I am. What if I had like a hand extending and saying the extending out to him first? Let's do this. Let's split this panel. Look, there's my hand. Oh my god. I can't focus today, you guys. This is why I don't stream this part. It's a very personal part of the process and I don't like streaming it usually. But, like I said, I need to stream more and stop being such a coward. Figure out. I thought this would look really nice, but it doesn't. I don't like this at all. I think I'll just do the original perspective on this, because this was supposed to be the important panel, and I'll flip. Oh, I think I'll change this instead. What the fuck? Oh yeah, oh most definitely, dude. His work is so good. I wish I had half the skill in drawing that he does. Like, he is definitely an inspiration as far as like he's like it's definitely manga, but you can definitely see like the comics influence on it. His work is like the perfect blend of comics and manga. Like, it's obviously manga. Like, you can still tell that it's manga when you look at it. There's no question that it's manga, but it also has like, it's like this, like, it still feels comic in a way. Like it feels like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I've always wanted to have in my own work like this perfect blend of comics and manga, like traditional comics, like Golden Age era, or like the modern, like I want it to look like a comic. But I also want it to be obviously a manga, and I feel like White gets that blend perfect. So I admire that. Plus his human drawing skills, oh my god. Like, holy shit, they're so good. So he's definitely an inspiration, but it's the specific story I don't like. I don't like Apple Black. It's not my kind of story. It's not my thing. I'm not into those kinds of stories as far as like fighting and like, not chosen one-y. Kind of is. That's just not the type of story that I'm into. So it's just not my thing. At least that was my impression of it when I tried to read it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that was what I thought the story was about or where it was going. And that was forever ago, so maybe I need to try it again. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, someone please tell me. But I'm not big on like, like stories where the main character just goes and fights everybody and it's slightly chosen one-ish. I don't like that. So I didn't read it. I just stopped reading it. What made you start manga making? That's a fun question. And hi, is it Tobias? Tobias? I'm sorry. You probably get that a lot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just want to be sure I say your name correctly. Please tell me how to say it. I hate saying people's names wrong. So what made me start making manga? So originally I was studying not animal specifically, but I was studying healthcare in my first year of college, specifically rad tech, and I was leaning towards going into radiology technology, but I wanted to work with animals. So, but I wanted to study radiology first. Radiology, not radiography. So I'd be the person taking the x-rays. But that's the kind of thing that I wanted to do. So I was in my first year of doing radiology, and I wanted to eventually go into like rehab centers for wildlife. Like be part of the team, like helping animals and stuff. That was what I had wanted to do. And in my first year of college, I got a positive tuberculosis test. And because I have tuberculosis on my health record now, I'm not entirely sure that I could get away with it. As far as like working and stuff, because it technically, TB could come back at any time. And once you get it once, it's easier to get reinfected with it than it is not, because it's not the sort of like your body, it messes with your body's ability to recognize something as far as like natural immunity goes. Like your body can't recognize it the way it messes with your like your cells and stuff. So it's actually easier to get reinfected after you've gotten it. And because tuberculosis is transmittable to animals, I would be putting the animals I work with at risk too. So I decided that I needed to do something else, mostly out of like fear, like would I get an animal sick, would I get my friend sick, and if it comes back, it usually comes back asymptomatic, so you wouldn't know for a really long time that you have anything. So you'd be putting, it's not a fun thing. So I decided to try something else, and my counselor suggested I go into animation, because she's like, oh well, you don't have to actually draw if you're doing animation, because you can do a 3D animation. And I was still in my weeaboo phase. I'm like, I really like manga and I really like anime, and I like, what layer is this? I tried like 3 different layers. What layer is this? Okay. Anyway, so I tried all these different things. Took these tests and stuff, trying to figure out what I should do, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll give animation a try. And I liked it. Well, I liked storytelling, but I absolutely did not like 3D animation. I did not like 3D animation at all. I absolutely hated it. I hate 3D modeling. But going through my animation degree, I learned that I really, really did like, let's see. What's happening here, script-wise here? Hey. Occasionally, I just lose my mouse sometimes. Hang on, let me get this out here real quick. I can't write and talk at the same time. Okay, it'll be alright, and then he's just like, yeah, just a minute. So I have a script here, so I already know what he says. Okay, so now that I've written that really quick, anyway, so I took an animation course. I didn't like it 100%, but I really, really liked pre-production. I really liked the stuff, where I was like storyboarding and scripting. Hang on, let me just let. Um, way out in the boonies, way out in the boonies. So it's like yeah, the internet's not that great. Anyway. Oh man, I just realized that lines up. Damn. Can't have that. That's okay. Can't have pages lining up. Okay, cool. All right, thank you. I appreciate you working with, being patient with me on that. Anyway, so back to your answer. I learned that I really liked pre-production work, so like storyboarding, animatics, that kind of stuff. I don't really like character design that much. I find characters really boring. Just funny, I'm going into visual narrative and I find characters boring. I just really liked the whole pre-production phase, and so let's see, I'm drawing this fit here. This way. Oh, it's okay. I'll make it fit later. I'll make all this fit later. This is the process, you guys. It sucks. Oh goodness. Okay. So I decided, well, maybe I'll go into 2D animation, or maybe I'll go into concept art, or maybe I'll go into storyboarding or something like that. So I just kind of kept studying. And so I went to art school, and while I was at art school, one of my professors happened to work in comics, and he noticed that I kind of had a knack for drawing with ink. And he suggested it. He's like, hey, like, you already have a background in animation, and you already have like a basic idea in storytelling, and you kind of have a knack for ink. Have you ever considered doing comics? And like, my first comment to him about that was, no, comics are dumb. Like, because I read manga, and I was thinking he meant like comics and only comics. And he's like, well, I bet I can change your mind. And I was like, yeah, I'll bet you can. Like, but I didn't say that to him, but that was what I thought. And by the end of the semester, by the end of my first semester, he changed my mind. And so I got super wrapped up into like comics and manga, and like just the idea of like making something along the line of comics and manga. But I was mostly comics. Like, I didn't think I could make manga because I'm an American. Like, can an American mangaka be a thing? Like, I didn't think that was even possible at that time. So I didn't want to do it. And so I didn't even really think about it as like a possibility. So let's see. Oh man, yeah, I lose my mouse all the time. So we'll just have his hand here. Look at this delightfully drawn hand on the wrong layer. There. He'll put his hand out. Does that even look like a hand? And then Mao Oros is narrating here. He says, Mao is my myope, blah 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 blah. Immortal. And I'm sure I'll end up changing this again later. Oh, look guys, we're on the next page! I made it! Okay. Please tell me this is one layer. Yes! Okay. Alright, so I can just copy this one over. This is like a reveal panel on the next page. Wow, that was easy. Oh, anyway, so that's what got me into comics. And then, about 3 years after I graduated college, I was offered an internship with Tokyo Pop, actually. So I did an internship with them for 4 months, in Los Angeles, and that was kind of, like, I'd thought about making manga before then. I'd kind of, like, slowly experimented with it. Like, the comic I'm working on now, I've actually been working on for a really long time. I've been working on it for 12 years now. I just had my 12-year anniversary last year. And so I'd been playing with it, like, is my story an animation? Is it a comic? Is it a webtoon? And then after I interned with Tokyo Pop, I'm like, oh man, I've got to make this manga. And so I did. And so I did. And so I've kind of just been redrawing it, again. Let me make another folder, panel 6. Let's see. Alright, so the next panel, there's 5 panels on here. I need to make that one smaller. Let's see. Mao stands, leaning on Holmes for support. Okay, so he'll have to stand. So this is still the focus panel. It'll be the biggest one. I don't like that. Yeah, sorry guys, this is like the not as fun part, because I'm sitting here like just kind of experimenting, moving things around. It's not necessarily as fun. Alright, we don't need to actually show much here. So actually, let's move this further up, because we don't need all of that bubble space. Because I can actually move this down and condense it, because it's not a lot of words. So let's actually fix that first. Okay, so initially Aros keeps narrating. So let's put his narration box. Let's actually move him closer. So, yeah, I was gonna say, here's what happens. Aros gets beaten up pretty badly. Alright, so I moved him over a little bit so I can fit his narration box right here. So he'll have like a short narration box here. And here he does, what's the last sentence he says here? We heal, blah, 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 energy. That's that sentence. So yeah, that's how I got into making manga, it's Tokipop's fault. But comics is my teacher's fault. And then Mao says here, we captured, oopsie, like he wanted, what's this here? Ren will handle the rest. I'll adjust to make all that fit later. Alright, and here Holmes is holding him, kind of zooming out, showing him, holding him. It kind of helps him up initially. And then this will be, I don't know if I want to black that out or not. Have him facing this way, so it's a profile view. This is Holmes, this is Aros. Well, I mean, Felipe Smith, I think is Brazilian or Chilean. Like, he's from South America too, and Felipe Smith has been published by Kodansha, I believe. So look up Felipe Smith as well. Here's how you spell his name. Oh, I ordered that wrong. Let me try again. Spelling's for losers. I tried. Let's see. Actually, we'll take this out of this panel. Because it would actually work easier if I did, where is she? And he'll go, I don't know. And then he'll say something else. Hey, Cameron, what's up? Hello. How are you? Where? Oh, wait, no, he'll say, oh, wait, those are, oh, dear. Let's see. Just realized that that's not gonna work. Let's see. Yeah, so the basic premise here, let me bring up the main character here. Boop, boop, doop. So the idea here is, let me see, let me grab Aros here. Let me open this here. This page explains it pretty well. Oh, no, it don't matter if you make manga or webtoons, honestly. It really doesn't. I don't think it matters. What matters is how good you are at marketing yourself. Because what a lot of people don't want to talk about is self-marketing. You have to learn how to market yourself, otherwise you're not going to succeed. It doesn't matter if you make comics, it doesn't matter if you make manga, it doesn't matter if you make webtoons. If you cannot market yourself, you are not going to get anywhere, period. That's it. You cannot rely on a platform to do all the work for you. That's it. Most people are like, well, webtoons are more popular. The webtoon site is a lot bigger. So is the Pastic. So I'm going to make a webtoon because it's so popular. And I'm going to post there because there's so many people there. And I'm going to get really popular. Like, that's how they think. And it's like, no, you have to self-market yourself. Whether you make a manga, whether you make a comic, it doesn't matter. You have to have good art, good story, and good marketing. Like, usually you can get around with meh art or meh story, but you cannot get away with meh marketing. It's not one of those things that, like, you can just, like, get randomly discovered. So... anyway. So, the main characters here is Aros. He's the main character here. I don't know what online cartoons is. Is it a website? I don't know what that is. Anyway, so the basic premise here is Aros here is going to see, actually I should probably open this one. Aros here goes to Amat, which is this sort of, so Amat is the god of the dead, basically. And when I say god of the dead, like, he's not the one who kills people, but he's sort of like the supervisor of, like, the underworld, sort of like their version of Hades. And, Fale, which is a woman that Aros loves but also admires in, like, a mentor sense, kind of both ways. He really likes her both ways. He goes to the god of the dead after she is murdered and says, hey, like, I want you to revive her for me. And then he also, like, so Amat is like, hey, well, what are you going to give me in return for this? And Aros just goes, a soul for a soul. Like, I'll give my soul in return for hers. And Amat just laughs at him. Amat is like, no way. Like, I'm not, like, here, let me just, like, open chapter 1. I don't mind showing you guys this stuff, since you guys are here. So basically, here, so, like, Amat laughs at him, and he's like, no. He's like, I'm not doing this. Here's why I can't do this. Here's why I won't do this. And Aros, like, he yells at him, basically. Like, he yells at him. He's like, what do I have to do? Tell me, what do I have to do? I'll do it. I'll do anything. And Amat's like, oh, anything. Like, Amat is one of those, like, dangerous villains in the sense that he'll use your words against you. He's very passive-aggressive. He won't, like, outwardly go out of his way to hurt anybody. Like, he won't get his own hands dirty or whatever. So, yeah, he's, really crazy, in the sense that he's not crazy, like, outwardly crazy, but he's, like, inner crazy. You know what I mean? So Amat says, oh, well, if you help me start the apocalypse and bring me lots of souls so I can get stronger, like, I'll revive her for you. And so Aros is like, oh, okay. The problem, though, is that this particular god is the one god that he is supposed to protect his people from. Because, like I said, this god has it out for people. He has it out for the apocalypse. That's what he wants to do. And Aros' job is to prevent the apocalypse from happening. And so now he has to work for the god to help start the apocalypse. So basically, he's betraying his oath to bring back one person. And so he's sort of, in a way, sacrificing an entire island for one person. And there won't even be an island for her to come back to. So that's half the story. And the other half of the story is this, this little bird here called Coco, which is Fale, the woman. It's her student. He's out for revenge on who he thinks killed her. Remember I said she was murdered? He's out for revenge to kill her, or to catch the killer. And he thinks he knows who does it, and he revives him and forces him into a contract, basically. And so you've got one half of the story where Aros is sort of soul collecting, doing really bad things, trying to help start the apocalypse, and then you've got the other story where Coco's trying to get revenge, and obviously the person he accuses of says, I'm innocent, I didn't do this. So the other half of the story is trying to figure out who killed her. Is Auk really guilty, or was it someone else? So Coco's trying to prove that Auk did it and get revenge on him, and then Auk is trying to prove that he's innocent and figure out who actually did it. So at least from, like, to him, like, who actually did it. So yeah, it's sort of like, who did it? It's like a who done it mixed with like apocalypse. But like romance and love isn't the theme of the story. It just happens to be Aros's motivation for doing what he does. So okay, so now I need to figure out how to order this how to order the script here, because I kind of have characters talking at different times. So it'd be easier if Holmes said something first. Holmes is the guy on the left here. So this is Holmes, this guy, and then this is Aros here on this side. But the problem is Holmes is supposed to speak first, but he's on the other side. And I want to keep Holmes on the left side of the screen. So I need to have Holmes say something first so that I can have Holmes be the first bubble. Hey, little Manga, what's up? Well, I have to be fair, I've not been streaming very often. I kind of went on a little hiatus while I was getting settled in Florida, where I live now. Yeah, welcome back. Thank you for coming to the stream. Let's see. Alright, so he'll say, where is Rin? So, Rin, handle the rest. So all I'm doing today is I'm just doing like some rough drafts. These are the initial drafts, so they're not going to be like super pretty drawings or anything. Here we go. He'll ask, she'll be fine alone. And then Aros can confirm with a quick yes. So after that, let's see. I've got a script here. You guys can't see it, but I do have one. So if you guys wonder why I pause, I'm looking at my script here. Let's see. Panel 3, Mal looks at Dren. So let's see. But anyway, Toby asked, when it catches up, let me know if that answered your question. Hopefully I got to everything you asked. But anyway, talking about like the webtoons versus manga thing, I personally do think that there is some bias today as far as like with webtoons in terms of like making a webtoon versus making a manga, only in the sense that webtoons are generally colorized and people tend to like color more than black and white, so I think that gives it a slight advantage over manga. But I don't think necessarily if you make like a manga you're gonna fail. Now, the other benefit to making a webtoon over manga is that you do have more platforms to post it on. Posting a manga is harder because there aren't as many platforms for it. There's a lot of platforms to post webtoons on. And webtoons is generally easier to read on mobile. So if you have a manga, you either have to like take it apart or you have to like put it into vertical format, or you have to find a site that can handle it on mobile, like handle page format on mobile, which is kind of hard to do. I post my stuff to Global Comics, not because I work there, but even before, so I started posting my stuff there before I got hired. But I post my stuff to Global Comics because they've got a really cool like panel-to-panel reader. Like you can have it, so basically you can like flip from panel to panel to panel to panel, so you can upload in regular page format, but you can still let the creator read panel to panel, which is really cool. And then their actual like reader is really nice, in the sense that like it looks good on the phone, it's easy to use, you can see the full page. And then soon we're hoping to like put out like a the developer is saying that he's working on like a 2-page reader so that you can read a whole spread at a time, just like you could on Metabang or Comixology, all that stuff. So he's working on that too, so you'll be able to read 2-page spreads as well. So which is really, really nice. So that's where I post my stuff. And it's growing pretty good. I did really well there last year. I got like 5th place on the whole website last year, so I was pretty excited about that. So I really don't think that, you know, manga or something that's not a webtoon automatically means failure or means automatically that it's more difficult. I still think you can succeed because lots of people make manga and succeed online. It really just depends on like what you mean by like what is success. Like, do you mean like selling, like selling it and like making that your living income? Do you mean like having a lot of followers? Like, what exactly do you find as success? And I think whatever you define as success will give you your answer. I do think it is a little harder to make something succeed with manga, but I also think a lot of people don't understand how to properly market themselves, which makes it harder. They expect the website to do it all for them, which is not how it works. They also think posting your link and running away is also a good way to self-market, and that's not good self-marketing strategy. So yeah. Alright, so he will look back at Dren, so we'll split this. Stock images? I mean, you can use stock images and stuff. You just have to be careful, make sure you have the right to use those stock images too. Stock image, just something being a stock image doesn't automatically give you the right to use it. So, actually, let's split this again. Actually, good. Alright, so there's 4 panels here. Mal looks back at Dren. Nice. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do another short panel. I'm gonna do that. I wasn't initially gonna do that. I didn't think it would work. But I think we'll do it. Because I can only have 4 stacks. I can only be stacked 4 high. So, and I can't do 3 across either. That's why I was debating on if I wanted to... Let me just see what it looks like if I change it really quick. See, this is why paneling can be difficult, is it's not necessarily doing what is easy, it's figuring out what looks good for that particular layout, which is never necessarily easy. Yeah, this is the boring part, where sometimes you have to sit here and fight with your panels to even find what works. And of course I've got stuff that's not on the proper layer. Nice. Nice. Dang it. Come on. Actually, let's move this to this panel over up here. So let's move this up to this other one. He'll ask this kind of at the end, like, where's Rin? Like, where is Rin? Let's see. And then we'll move this over so that it's not taking up as much space. And then we can move, oops, move these. This works better. There, now I can get in this extra panel, and I still have 2 wide by no more than 4 tall. Okay, and so here, he can look back at Dren. Let's see. I love both manga and webcomics, thus I had trouble deciding what format. Yeah, it's a little more complicated when it comes to webtoons and specifically webtoons, as it's kind of limited to what they're legally allowed to allow. They also have to be careful with nudity because of apps. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so I don't think it's like them trying to be snobs. I think it's definitely not webtoons trying to be snobs. I think I'm gonna put this up a bit. Take his hand. This up. So I do want to have like a long panel here for what happens next. I really want a long panel. What? Well, I don't have a full picture of Holmes yet, so I need to have. I don't have a full picture of Holmes yet. Oh, I've got an idea. I'll just put him in here. Let's move this over. Because this is a back, so I don't necessarily have to have that visible. And I'll just have this be more in perspective. So I can scoot him over. Like I said, guys, this isn't necessarily a fun part, but it's really important just to make sure everything is going to look good and stuff. Back on the topic of marketing, it's not good to rely on platform. That goes for all social media. Yeah. Hang on, I gotta fix something on my shirt. I've got a sticker or something stuck in my shirt and it hurts. I was going through thorn bushes earlier, so I got something. So I have some thorns stuck in my jacket that are making it through my skin and it hurts. You can get some exposure, but it takes time and energy. Yeah, definitely. A lot of people really underestimate, like the value of, yeah, people really underestimate the value of like good marketing and all that stuff. Man, I've got 6 people here watching me do nothing. Oh my god, you guys are so patient and so kind to me. I love you all. Thank you for sitting here and watching me do absolutely nothing productive. Actually, I don't need this panel because I can communicate those two in one panel. So, this right here, we'll have Holmes standing here, holding his hand out, in his uniform, looking all snazzy, kind of leaning forward, helping him. He's kind of leaning down a bit. So this is sort of my... So I guess if I'm going to do that... I can make this bigger. Not too big. Like how I say that and one person leaves. That's funny. Do you guys have any more questions? I absolutely love getting questions, so... Okay. I wish I could, like, show you guys the script, but, like, I don't want to spoil it too much with, like, all the exact words and everything. Otherwise, I would show you guys more. I don't know, like, how many of you guys want spoilers. Plus, since my members are paying for spoilers, I don't want to, like, give away too much, you know. My members, they get like the like, for example, like the PDF version that I have of this one that I showed you earlier. Like, my members get this, like, they'll get like this version, and then they'll get like the finished versions and all that kind of stuff. So, member benefits. Okay. And the biggest problem is these first few pages I changed a lot from my original chapter. So I just have to make the changes to these. Because I didn't like how I had it the first time. Like, this is why I tell people it's not as easy as it looks. Especially, like I could just, like, slap pages and slap panels down and, like, make it look as ugly as I wanted, but, like, I want it to look good, you know? You know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about? Should probably type it out here. If I can spell right. Obviously, I love questions because I talk more than I draw. I can't help it, sorry. I just love talking to you guys. Alright, so this one is going to be Rin having an absolute heyday with herself. I think I'll make this the focus panel. Oh, horror stories is fun. Well, you don't need gore to have horror stories. No. And that may be your type of horror story, but you do not need gore to tell a good scary story. Gore and horror story are not mutually exclusive. Now, there is a type of horror story that can have gore in them. And you don't need to have a horror story to have gore. Those things are not mutually exclusive in any way, shape, or fashion. Obviously. So don't feel like you have to limit yourself to gore or limit yourself to horror stories. If that's what you like writing, then absolutely go for it. I keep forgetting it's just easier to type. How do I want to show this? Like, Rin, the archer girl, supposed to be absolutely losing her shit here. Oh, yeah. They often go... Wow, I can't spell today. There are streamers with thousands of viewers just to watch kitchen nightmares. Well, see, I would hope that people would come here to talk to me. I want to be one of those streamers that people come not just to watch me draw, because that's not what I do half the time. Like, I actually draw and talk, but mostly talk. You get the interaction factor here. Maybe we'll just have 2 panels of Rin just like losing her marbles. We'll have 2 panels of it. Rin's just absolutely losing her shit here. Rin's just absolutely losing her mind here. She's like, I don't want to draw disembodied heads on stream. I might get in trouble. Oh my god. Okay, there's one head. There's another one. Oh man, no, I need to have my text bubble up there. I'll figure that out later. It's okay. I don't quite understand. She's like having a grand old time, like killing people. She's just having too much fun with this. She's having too much fun with this. Oh, I just realized I put that in the wrong hand. Come on, cat. It's archery. It's not that hard. Let's see. Side projects. Ha. It's hard to do archery because you need so much space to do like a really good panel of archery unless you do something that's really deep perspective. I don't normally do 3 panels wide, but I'll make an exception here. You just have a close-up of her face here. Maybe like an upper view here of like all the people or whatever. Look, stick people! Yeah, it's just weird. Like whenever I stream, I tend to be a little slower because I tend to not get. I'm not like Spiky Fishes where I can like talk and do a lot of talking at the same time. I'm unfortunately not good at that like she is. Unfortunately, I'm really bad at that. So sorry guys, it's just easier to type. Like I want to talk, but I feel like it's a little harder. All right, so that's 2 pages done. So as you can see, I didn't really like do anything too crazy detailed. I just kind of figured out like where I wanted everything. So, and then this page, I'm gonna have to redraw later. I'll just redo it later. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Yeah. And so these 2 pages didn't really follow my script too much. And that's why I make my script. My scripts aren't like hard scripts. Like I don't have to completely stick to it. But usually what I'll do, like if I have a bubble, I'll usually put in like the first 2 words and then like lines and then like whatever the last word is because I've already got it written down on my script. So that kind of saves me some time. I don't have to sit there and figure out what the wording already is. But it definitely helps to figure out like where they're gonna go. So you can see I put in the bubbles and it didn't really like work too much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why sometimes I'll just be like, you know what, like, I'll try it without using the 3D tools, just so that I can see if my brain can work with it. And then when I do use 3D models, I actually take the time to, like, go slower so that I can kind of, like, learn from it, you know what I mean? To be like, okay, well, I'm going to use the 3D models, like, I might as well actually, like, learn how to do this properly, so that doing it, like, it's not just, like, hey, I'm going to trace this. Like, I can actually learn from it while I'm doing it. So, and that way I can hopefully be better next time. Alright, so I'm going to save this. I'm just going to hit Control S. Oops. I meant Control Shift S. Sorry. There we go. Alright, so this page is done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, actually I'm going to need this next. So I'll just open up the next page and start the next one. Usually doing a whole chapter like this will usually take me like 2 or 3 nights if I'm able to like really sit down and focus. And usually that's because, as you saw, like I know I drew kind of slowly. I keep forgetting that this delay gets worse the longer I stream. Is it tougher to sketch things out and get the panels laid out or finish them things they do? Can't even sketch panels today. That's where my brain is. Not here. Kind of distracted today. Oh, it's just actually taller than him. I guess I don't need these. I forgot I changed how they teleport in the series. I don't have to draw portals anymore. Because I used to have them use like actual portals and stuff, but I changed it so that I wouldn't have to draw so much. Lazy mode achieved.